Good morning, good day, good evening, completely messed that one up. Anyways, my name is Stark, and welcome to this video on, I forget exactly what this is about, because this is a two-part video. I believe what I'm actually trying to do, well, first off, it's a brand new ladder season, and with brand new ladder seasons come with all brand new problems, as we're about to find out what's going on with this. And anyways, in this game, as we can see, we have myself as the red Zerg, and as we know from previous experience, my red Zerg is, it's a superstitious thing, but hey, as we've seen, I do a lot better as the blue Zerg. But anyways, and my opponent, in the top right-hand side of Star Station, is Cindy Wang. I guess that's might be the name, and I don't know. It sounds like a real name, so this will be a fun game. Anyways, back to what I was trying to talk about. I've been having a lot of economy issues, I want to say. I never really have enough workers. I never really have enough buildings for Zerg, you don't have to build all that many, but I've been having issues with, generating income. So in this game, that's what I'm trying to sort of fix. It's what I'm part of this video as well. Sort of, because these two parts, as you'll see in the second part, it's a direct lesson from what I learned from this. Fortunately, this is a nice big map for this kind of thing, and if you scout wrong as a protoss, I can actually get this down early on. That was my kind of hypothesis on it. That if they fail to scout me, because what I've been having a lot is protoss will scout me out and they'll drop a pylon on this expansion here, and that, as we've seen in the previous games, I think against protoss, is that kind of really screws me up. And I decided that, oh, okay, well, I got up here, you're doing your forge to Nexus expand, so like, hey, that's great. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play kind of greedy, since I've been having income trouble, and I'm going to drop another hatchery right here in quite shortly actually. I think I'm going to kill this probe first, but because I've got the pool coming out, gas going down, so I'm going to go kill this probe and try to pick this up really quickly to try to get that economic advantage, which as it turns out I'm actually really bad at doing. As we've seen, my macro is not the greatest, and that's something that I'm trying to work on a lot. The problem is, I can drop the 3 hatcheries, but I can't saturate them all that well. That's one of the main sort of issues that I had in this particular game. So now I'm going to get to kill this nice little probe. Stuck around. It stuck around for quite some time, so I can't really blame it. The other thing that I sort of am kind of proud about in this game is the fact that I do use my overlords to scout a little bit better than I have been in the past, mainly because in the past I haven't really been using them at all. So I'll take a look at some of that, what happens. But this is the other thing. I'm on 2 bases, I'm building a third. But I guess dumping the resource into this is why I didn't really get enough drones out, but I'm having issues with generating stuff because I'm going into the queens, getting speed boost, and ideally right now I should have probably pulled these workers off the gas for the time being, not for very long, maybe for a few minutes or so, just to kind of get that back. I did supply cap myself early on. Supply capped it actually quite badly, if I recall. And my opponent here, they're doing, nice wall in, pretty much what a 2-base protoss will do. They'll wall in and get into stargates to sort of do that Phoenix, maybe Void Ray harass, see what's going on. Whereas me, I'm just having trouble trying to get this going. I'm on 3 bases right now, and I cannot get any workers, because what the hell am I even building? I'm building Zerglings. See, this is a big problem of mine, that I need to, because I have this tower here, so I can sort of see if they're coming, kinda, anyways, unless they take you know, the long way down across. Most people will probably take the direct route because that's what the AI is going to do. Um, the AI will take it right across this way, so that's why there's El Naga Tower. Like, I have this, but I continue to make just Zerglings and units and stuff like that. Why, I'm not exactly sure. I could have been making drones instead of the Zerglings, which would have helped my income, because again, I'm on 3 bases and I'm still behind by a ton of workers, whereas they're just, you know, pounding out everything. This is just awful on my part. I really wish I would actually pay attention and make workers. Don't know why I don't, because I keep saying that, yeah, I need to make stuff, but anyways, I got the Overlord speed upgrade, which is quite nice, because it lets me get some nice scouting in here, and I actually make good use of it a couple of times in this game, just to see what kind of tech switch that they could do. Pardon me. I always get a bit of a sore throat this time of day. I really should get a drink, but I'll do that. I'll do that at the break between this video and the second part. I'll get a bit of a drink. And see, this is the thing. I mean, I get to scout these 4 warp gates here. Oh, well, they're turning into warp gates, so I get to scout that out. So I know exactly that, okay, they're going some gateway units. I know that they have Stargate, because I saw the Void Ray, I saw the Void, and the Phoenix, and so my reaction at some point is going to be, I mean, I dropped a Spire early on, and then my reaction is going to be to drop a Hydra Den. Don't know why I dropped an Infestor Pit. Should have dropped the Hydra Den first, because I did see the air unit, so they're obviously going to go for some type of airplay, and Hydras are crazy good against you get a lot of Hydras, it's really good against Phoenix and Void Rays for the most part. I do have a Roach one, but I'm not actually making Roaches, because at this point, I'm just trying to get my economy up there. Like, I'm still on 3 bases, and he's gone 2. It still has 2 more workers than I do. That's not good. I should have at least 20 more workers, because this is my problem right here. I've got 9 on my natural, and I've got 5 on my third, and I'm taking double gas here. I don't know why this is why I'm having so many money problems in this game. And these Phoenixes, they're not going to help. Basically, they're going to pick off my queens because I'm getting lazy. I did see them coming in, so because I picked up the Zelnaga Tower, I saw them here. And my inclination, well, I'll drop a couple of spore crawlers. Unfortunately, they're not going to be up nearly in enough time. So this will be defended for the next time, but right now I've got no anti-air whatsoever, so you can just completely run around, take whatever. These spore crawlers will fortunately be done, so this base is relatively safe. This one, Queen's going to die. I've got the spore crawlers again here. They're kind of done, so it's not too bad. I don't actually lose a whole ton of stuff. I lost Queens mostly, which is not good. Queens and Overlords, because I can't kill these Phoenixes yet, and so the Overlords are just easy pickings. But Overlords are not the biggest boss, especially to a Zerg, because it's just like, oh, well, just dump it now. But I did lose completely everything here, even though there was only, what was it, 6, maybe 7? And then on this other end, I'm trying to do a bit of, meter house. I only had about 4 though, because I didn't quite have, again, I didn't have the money to pump out more than 4 when the Spire went up. If I had a bit of a better income, I could have got out maybe 6 or 7, because here's the other 3 that I had to delay, and I would have had about, well, 4 plus 3, so yeah, I would have had 7, and then I could have actually done substantially more damage to this mineral line here. On the end of this, sticking on what? How many gateways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sticking on 7 more gateways. Just crazy production that the protoss can put out, just because they've got the income for it, and I don't. If I was actually, having a good income, I think obviously I'd do a lot better with a good income. I'm spending all my money. Like, this is not, my money's not actually going up because I'm spending it all. But the problem is I'm spending it faster than I can make it, really. And it's like I spend it all and I have to wait to get more, which is problematic. I can't spend it and gather it at the same time, which is kind of really important in this game. I'm having very, very poor economy management, and my entire idea with this game is to try to kind of keep them contained as best I can and sort of build up. But I'm having a difficulty doing that because they're actually controlling the pace of this game, which, as a protoss player against a Zerg, that's what you want to do. You really want to be the one in control of the game. You don't want to let the Zergs kind of, run rampant and control your pace and control what you're doing. See, this I actually get to kill it fairly well because I do have a lot of Zerglings, and Stalkers are not that great against Zerglings. But as we can see, actually there's no warp prism. There's a pylon here, so easily getting reinforcements. But the Zealots will clean this up nicely. Again, we're still fairly even in the units lost because Zerglings are kind of squishy, but they do kill a bit. And I don't have any upgrades. What do you got? Level 1 weapons. I've got level 1 missile attacks, which is alright because I'm doing the stupid swarm host thing. They're fun units. Don't get me wrong. They're extremely fun, and when I use them properly, if ever, I don't think we've seen a game yet where I actually do use them properly. But when I do, they're actually remarkably effective. Where the hell are these mutalisks? Ah, they're just sitting here. I don't think I actually moved these for most of this. I could have moved them in and sort of helped fight this off, but I'm not exactly paying attention to what units I actually have. I actually make another mutalisks. That's weird. Because I'm just trying to get these hiders out, but I'm having the money, big money problems. I fixed my income, sort of. I fixed my gas problem, which is so problematic, but again, I don't have the money. I mean, army supplies are not too bad. Units killed. I've actually killed more workers, surprisingly. Don't know how. I guess the mutalisks up here did more damage than I thought, but overall, I mean, they had a much better engagement. And look, they can just mass up a whole bunch of zealots with two weapons against my 1/1 hydras. And this is what I was sort of thinking. Okay, they're going a bit of sky toss. I'm going to get hydras because I have this bloody observer here. They can sort of see whatever I'm building. Since, like a moron, I have my rally point right here. So this is actually good placement for an observer. Ideally, I could have placed my army back. Well, it really doesn't matter because you can just move the observer forward. What I really needed is an overseer, and this is what I'm going to learn from next time I play against a protoss. I'm going to have an overseer sort of sitting there with my army, just so I can kill that observer that's sort of looking at it. And these zealots come in, and I'm like, ah, well, crap. I have entirely the wrong type of unit, and I've got no money to make the roaches that I need to kill it. So I can get 4 roaches out because the entire time I've had terrible economy. I only have 48 workers. Well, now it's just dropping like a rock because the zealots just pick them off quite quickly. They're going to take out this base. They're going to take out this base. At this point, in 18 minutes, I should have had a 4th, and I should have scattered this with an overlord and maybe taken it out because I would have got my 4th, maybe even my 5th at this time. But I didn't because I was having economy issues the entire game. However, I did learn quite a bit from this on how to deal with certain situations, particularly against a Protoss player. What I need to do is I need to control the game better. I cannot let them control the pace of it. I need to A, harass, B, build more. I mean, I know I've said it before, but I need to build more workers. I didn't get supply capped, which is always a good thing. You'd never really want to get supply capped, especially for an extended period of time. But I didn't actually, build a whole lot of stuff. I mean, we take a look at the spending tab, and they've got more tech because they've got better upgrades. They've got, I mean, the army's kind of a moot point because Zerg armies are generally cheaper and more expendable, and protoss armies are like the unit cost is remarkably expensive in comparison on a 1-to-1 ratio. That's why you can't really compare all that much. But the economy, here's where the big thing is. We've got 1,500 more in the economy. I mean, that's an entire. Okay, well, 1,500 can either build 3 hatcheries for 1, or 1,500 divided by 50 is what? 30 workers. So let's even just say a hatchery, and so 1,500 is 1,200. 1,200 divided by 50 is what? I don't know, calculator. There we go, 24 workers. So basically, there was another base that they spent, which I desperately needed to spend. But I did take some of the lessons that I learned from this game, and I'm going to put them into the next part of this video in the next game that I play. So hopefully it works out a lot better for me. So stick around. Hello and welcome to the second part on this video on. I guess it's now about setting up a contain to sort of try to starve your opponent out, which is always fun to do. And as we saw in the previous game, the main reasons as to why I couldn't is because A, I'm bloody poor. So in this game we have myself as the blue Zerg this time, and as we've seen, blue Zerg I'm a lot better as. I don't know why, maybe I just like the colour blue better. And my opponent in the top left hand side of Akalon Wastes is Chobo. Well, he's from the clan Chobo. Don't know what that is. Tippin. I don't know. I'm gonna call him Chobo for the sake of this. Anyways, so what we're trying to do is try to set up a contain on a protoss player to kind of keep them in the base, keep them sort of backed against the wall to allow us. Well, me, I guess. I do refer to us as, I guess, Zerg in general. Sure, why not? Why not? We're a nice, big, happy family, so we want to control the pace of the game. Because against a Protoss, that's actually kind of helpful. See, that's annoying. Like, he decides to block my pool. That's kind of a, like, it's a classy move, I want to say. Normally that kind of thing happens up here with the hatchery, but did it with the pool. Kind of annoying. I was like, you stupid probe. Probes are jerks, man. But anyways, I get to chase them off, which is always fun. This is the thing about Protoss, they just... I mean, it's a fun race to play. I like playing against it as well. But they just annoy the crap out of me with some of the things that they can do. Like this right here. As we know, blocking this kind of screws me over. However, what he I don't even realize that he cancels this until a lot later. Because if I did notice that he cancelled it instead of just going here, I could have just dropped my expansion there. I mean, he cancelled it at the last second, so honestly, it's kind of a moot point to really cancel that. Could have just left it here and actually further delayed the construction of the hatchery. Because basically, I mean, it forces my 4 Zerglings out to try to go and kill it, but also delays me actually starting to build anything here. And the second these Zerglings come out, I know that, oh, well, there's nothing here now, so now I can actually go drop my hatchery there, which I do eventually, sometime after this one finishes, though, because I'm still trying to build the Zerglings to get over there. So I've got the 2, and what's he up to now? He's dropping his gateway, doing his nexus. That's kind of, normally I would expect to see a forge instead of the gateway first, but hey, whatever, it's all good. And yeah, I get my nice little Overlord scat again. Of course, I'm kind of dumb and I don't check to make sure he's got the guess at this point, which would have been the smart thing to do, but I didn't. It's alright, but now I get to drop this before that's finished, so, you know, I'll get to do my nice 3rd base, 3 hatcheries again, which I tried to do in the previous portion of this video, as you saw, and hopefully this time it's actually going to work out a lot better for me. Let's actually bring it. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want what? I want the names, which is N. There we go. Take a nice look at the supply in a much easier, much more friendly manner. It's got a lot of supply on me. Not too much as far as like overall supply done. This is a bit more of a slower game at the start than the previous one. Not as much going on. I've sort of taken away some lessons that I did sort of learn from the last one about making drones because, well, I need to. Going into layer tech early, which is kind of nice because I wanted to get that early sort of harassment pressure onto it. Like, of course, I dropped my layer tech, then I don't realize my layer tech actually finished for a couple of minutes, I think. And I was like, oh well, my layer's done. Might as well drop a spy now. Like, probably about 4 or 5 minutes later. That's probably not that long, not much later, but definitely was at least 3 minutes later. And he's going to move out with 2 zealots in the mothership core, which at this point, I mean, he knows. Actually, he doesn't know that I've done this. For all he knows, I'm on 1 base. For all he knows, he did not scout the 3rd. That's what he's trying to do now. He assumes I probably have this by now, but he's going to try to do something, I think. Well, I played this game like an hour ago, so he's going to scout this first to make sure that to check if something's actually here. See, this was kind of silly. There's rocks here. If you're going to attack, go the right way. Buys time for your opponent if you go the wrong way. Could have been making. What's he actually making at this point? He's warping in some units, getting warp gate done. A pylon down here when he sort of dropped this one first. This would have been a great place for it, because then it could have seen the creep spread and could have just warped in and gone and killed it. So that's actually a fantastic place for a pylon, or even just like kind of right there. But fortunately, I got to see this coming with my little overlord, and right now 2 zealots in a mothership core is not all that much to actually stop this, because I can produce a lot more to get rid of this. I can pull the drones off the line, kill up these 2 zealots, because this is kind of late for this kind of a pressure attack. 2 zealots in a mothership core is not going to do much. I mean, kill the queen here, and it's going to be a while until I can actually get something out to stop this mothership core, but again, mothership cores take a long time to kill stuff, so it's not really, I mean, it's effective, but I still have this base here that's completely mine saturated. Yay, I actually managed to almost fully saturate a base for probably one of the first times that we've seen. And that allowed me to get the mutas out, and now I can actually start getting into more containment mode. I like this map a little better than Star Station because A, it's smaller, so I have less surface area to sort of work with and worry about dealing with as far as containment goes. So it's quicker for me to get mutas out and across the map because it's a much smaller overall surface area. I do like the overload placement I'm sort of putting in now. You can see a lot of the map actually. And of course, I mean, he dropped the pylon here, which is a great idea, but he didn't follow up with the 2 cannons, which would have helped. Because now, oh, he's got DTs at this point? I thought those were much, much later. I didn't even notice that he had DTs at this point, mainly because, you know, they can't really do anything against mutas, but I do eventually scout this. And as we saw from my previous game, making overseers to detect observers was one of the biggest problems. And so I actually don't do it yet, because I haven't scouted this yet. Oh, I have scouted it, but I don't actually pay attention to it. Because this is another thing. I didn't look here to see that this dark shrine was here until I actually come around after killing this and taking this. This is when I'm actually going to look here and see, oh, well, damn, he's got a dark shrine. And then my reaction is to immediately start getting out overseers to deal with these Dark Templar, because if they get the Dark Templar in there, I've got no detection right now, pretty much anywhere. Well, I've got this one little spore crawler, but I don't have anything here. I don't have anything here, and I just have So I've got one thing of detection right now. But I've got a bunch of mutas, which was nice. I got 10. They're kind of helpful. But he's doing this now. He drops the cannons because he knows the mutas are on the field finally. He really fortifies that position. I'm going to take out these two cannons. Though, well, I saw this coming in, so it's like, okay, well, I'll try to get as far away as I can. I lose a bunch, but I did get to supply cap him. And now is when I actually notice this Dark Shrine here. And so we'll go back and like, boom, Dark Shrine, make an Overseer. Instantly. And, you know, I do get to pick up a little bit of workers. And right now, this is the nice thing I like about mutas, even though I did lose a lot and my micro on them was absolutely terrible at this point. They're really good at just kind of moving the army back and forth, especially on this map, because there is this nice little narrow ramp. And because of this, it's actually really nice to do sort of this, you know, pressure. This map's really good for containment. And thank you, you killed the rocks. Excellent. As we remember the last time I played a protoss on this map, they did not kill these rocks, and I got to completely destroy this mineral line because the workers had nowhere to run. So, that is a good idea. I think I do the same thing eventually when I take this to be my 4th. Even though, arguably, this could have been my 3rd, but I decided to go this way first, because it's actually, I don't know, they're both this one's arguably easier to defend if the army's coming in directly this way. If they're coming in this way, obviously this one's quite a bit easier to defend, because you can even drop the rock tower, which is kind of nice. I think I actually lose a Zergling when I decide to kill it, because it's a silly Zergling, and decides to, you know, Zerglings decide to surround it, and gets crushed by the falling rocks. Poor little Zergling, but hey. Of course, with all of this, my creep spread has greatly suffered, as I'm trying to macro up, make units, and have an overall better economy. Right now, I'm in the lead of workers, which is probably a first, as we have ever seen. It's probably one of the first games where I'm actually in the lead economically. I have no bloody gas, because I'm spending a ton of gas heavy units, ton of mutas, I'm making hydras. I think I'm making... Do I have them yet? Yeah, I'm making a ton of upgrades. Yeah. Baneling Nest. Yeah, making a bunch of upgrades, making a bunch of things that all require gas. Still hitting up this muta harassment, because mutas are great at sort of keeping things kind of locked in and keeping them on the toes. I mean, you can just drop cannons and that kind of solves that problem, but it does, I mean, affect it. I've only killed 11 workers compared to 7, so the actual units lost is not that big a deal. As far as economic damage goes, because it's not a whole lot. Very easy to replace that kind of thing. But throughout this, I get to build up everything, and I'm not scouting him now. What I could have done, especially that I did in the first game, do I even get it this game? I do. I did get the pneumacised Overlord speed. So what I could have done is I could have just started sending a few Overlords sort of around here to see what is going on. I mean, I already knew that he had the Dark Shrine, the Templar Archives, because that's what I scouted earlier. That was the last bit of scouting information that I actually had. So I don't... Yeah. So I'm actually missing a whole bunch of scouting. I'm missing these 2 gateways. I'm missing both of these Stargates. So I have no idea what he's actually doing right now. Of course, at the same time, neither does he, because he doesn't make an observer. He's probably the first Protoss player I've ever seen that doesn't make an observer against me. I mean, I'm sure it happens every now and then, but very, very rare. So, observers are great, because he could have... But, as we saw, I didn't make them last game. This game I kind of have, mainly because it was mandatory for me, because I did see the Dark Shrines. So I was like, oh well, there's Dark Templar. Oh, I better make Overseers. I get to see this nice base, which I force a cancel on, because again, my entire point in this game is to try to keep them contained as much as I possibly can, which is kind of useful and very helpful. I mean, it's allowed me to sort of get my macro rolling, get up to near my supply cap. This is probably one of the first games that we've actually seen where I actually hit my supply cap. Actually, I think one of the earlier ones, not the last one, maybe the one before that, I actually got to hit my supply cap. I know it was against a protoss on this map, and I believe I was the blue Zerg again. Funny that. Don't know why. It just sort of happens that way. One day I'll do good as the red Zerg, and it will just completely throw my theory out of the water. But hey, and there's some nice Phoenix micro. I'm not actually paying attention to this battle. What am I even doing at this point? Sort of microing these around. Not even paying attention to the mutas, just kind of getting killed. Trying to get creep spread going from my 4th base. Well, technically this is my second, because I buried it first, but trying to get that creep spread going from there of all places, which is alright. The creep spread's a little late this game, but I can do that now because I'm supply capped. I don't have to worry about building stuff. And look, the swarm hosts, which have been kind of the plague of my existence, sitting out in the middle of nowhere, undefended, not really doing much because the range is only there, and I don't quite have the upgrade yet. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm not even making it yet, but I am making 4 more. And now you can sort of see these locusts kind of running out. They just die there. I mean, they don't even do anything. So he knows they're there. He's going to go look for them, but he doesn't have an observer right now, does he? Nope. No observer, and makes the Archons, which is a nice touch out of the Dark Templar. Dark Templar Archons are great. Part of me was thinking when I was actually watching this game, or well, not when I was watching it, when I was actually playing this game, I figured these were High Templar Archons. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Normally you make High Templar Archons after you kind of burn out their storms to get rid of their energy. Wow, he's got a lot of money. Just realised that. That is a lot of money. What the hell is he even built? He's not building anything either. He's not spending anything. And he's got a lot of supply cap left to go, but hey, whatever. And now, my swarm hosts, I'm like, son of a... I did it again. I left them alone. However, fortunately for me, there's no observer with that army. But I'm kind of stupid here, and I block in my banelings are kind of surrounded, and they're sort of dancing around, as we can see, trying to do stuff, and they're not. And now they finally get out, and they don't exactly do all that much damage. But fortunately, I've got my Hydras and my Roaches with a bit of muta support to sort of pick this off as we go. And now I can actually really start to set up this contain, because I got these 6 swarm hosts that I have not done anything yet. But I realize, oh, they're there now. Well, they're kind of keeping this kind of nice and kept in secret. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick them here, stick them up this way, because I know that he's killed this. I don't know, that's just kind of weird to me. When did I want to see when he killed that rock, because it's kind of strange to me. He doesn't kill the... Wait, how the hell does this work out? Because this is interesting to me. I want to see what actually happens here, because I don't know, because I didn't even realize this died. I thought he killed it first. Oh, so that does not... That's just silly. It's just silly. Like, that's really strange. I guess he completely walled himself in, couldn't get the Archons out, so he had to do it basically. Don't do that. If you're gonna wall this part here, wall it with the rocks first, and then build a little bit behind it. Because basically he just killed his own tower, and had to kill a gateway. Which, you know, it's not a big deal, but it's just kind of strange. I actually use these rocks to sort of protect it here. And kill this, make a nice little safe base. And now these locusts can actually start doing a couple of things here. And again, I'm kind of panicking like, ah crap, my swarm host is completely dead, but there's no observer for some strange reason. Not sure why. Dumb luck is what I'd say. I just completely got lucky. But my army was nearby anyways, they were like right over here, so they sort of defended anyways. So that's something I learned from previous games, of not leaving swarm hosts unprotected. I mean, the protection was kind of far away, and fortunately for me, I managed to send him back into his nice little nice base here, and I get to keep them contained, and this is where the swarm hosts actually sort of come into play, because I know, well, I could have broken up this ramp here. There's not a whole lot here, but on this map, this nice little choke point is actually really good for swarm hosts, because you can just dump locusts in here and just start picking things off, and they have a limited amount of space to actually come and kill this. Locusts actually do remarkably well in tight choke points like this, especially when there's no storms around. Of course, they are kind of stupid with Dark Templar, but hey, this is where the contain actually sort of starts coming in. I mean, like right now, I have him pretty much stuck in his base. He's not going anywhere at this point. Not sure why. I mean, he could have made an observer, made Colossus, and an observer actually would probably win in this game, because he could have just rolled out and killed this. He's trying to get out, and because as we can see, I finally learned stick the army with the swarm hosts, let the swarm hosts sort of pick away at things, forces him to sort of come out into the battle where I've got the massive supply advantage. And these swarm hosts are sort of picking up a couple of kills here and there, and I've just got enough. I've got 2-2 against 2-1, and just leaves. Not sure why exactly. Probably still could have won this game, to be honest. And this goes back to my last point about not really giving up and not surrendering. Not to say that he's in the wrong to surrender, because, I mean, this base was completely mined out. I had him sort of locked into this one. But, I mean, if he could have, because I'm basically supply capped at this point. I can't build any more units. He had about 50 supply to build, and I was just sort of sitting there. If he could have defended these and deflected the locusts for a little while longer, and maybe got an observer to sort of find out where the hell they're coming from, that could have helped, and he might have actually done better. But again, at the back end of this sort of containment that I was trying to set up, I've got this completely up and running. I'm dropping a 5th, and I believe I'm actually queued up to drop a 6th. Well, I was planning on dropping a 6th eventually, because this base is gone, this base is not. Actually, both of them. Again, that's not good. I need to do better, because this base is nice and saturated, this base is not really saturated, this one's not really saturated either. But I've got a ton of money because I stayed at my supply cap for a relatively long time in this game. So I did partially better, I want to say. I actually managed to sort of set up this contain that I've been trying to do with an opening of 3 hatches. Finally got the creep spread going in this game, sort of, which is always helpful. And this is what I'm sort of been talking about in the previous portion of this particular video, about controlling the pace of the game. If you can control that, you are in a much better position tactically. You are in a much better tactical position if you can control what your opponent's doing, where your opponent is. Specifically, if you can kind of keep them locked in their base, sort of wondering where the next harassment point's going to be, especially on this map, since it's fairly... I mean, you got 2 really great points for... well, technically 3, because there's a nice big empty space here that you can fly around. So you've got 3 very technically rather vulnerable mineral lines that you can easily get to with air units, and drops are kind of effective as well. You can drop right here and boom, you're right in there. So if you can kind of keep them guessing on where and when you're going to be attacking, and with what, is actually quite useful. Could have scouted better myself personally. I could have used my overlords to actually do things. I will at one time, eventually, I will learn to spawn changelings and maybe even contaminate. I used to use it against Zerg all the time. I used to contaminate hatcheries while they were the inject. I haven't done that in well since Wings of Liberty. long time back since I actually last did that. I need to start doing that again because it's actually quite nice. It's kind of annoying as well, and you know you can use it to stop buildings and production. But anyways, I learned quite a bit about setting up a contain. Mainly, what I'd learned is in this particular game, I got bloody lucky. I got lucky that he didn't have an observer. I got lucky that, well, mainly that he didn't have an observer, didn't scout me out properly, didn't kill my swarm host that was sort of vulnerable the entire time, and I just hit my mic accidentally. Sorry about that. But that's what I learned. I got lucky. It happens. I mean, I had a lot of money, but I didn't mine enough. So, anyways, good luck out there. My name is Stark, and I shall see you next time.